welcome in. Welcome in, Sheila here to do a little whole food plant-based tutorial with you guys. Just gonna hang out for a few minutes and wait for some people to come on with me. And while I'm waiting for some people to come on, I'm just finishing up a chickpea avocado salad. Let you take a peek. Doesn't that look good? You have to like cilantro to like this. It's a recipe on forksoverknives.com, and if you're looking for whole food plant-based recipes, I highly recommend that site. It's a great, wonderful site, and a lot of amazing recipes. A lot of my cooking, I kind of do freestyle or kind of get ideas from recipes. This one was 2 cans of chickpeas, 2 cloves of garlic, a full red onion, although I only used half of one because it was kind of a large one. 1 fresh jalapeno. I didn't have a fresh one, so I used some pickled jalapeno, which is still good. I would have liked to have had that fresh jalapeno, but I didn't have it. I used a whole thing of cilantro. I think the recipe calls for less, but I like cilantro. Cilantro is amazing. It helps detox the body. It helps eliminate metals from your body. So I like to use the whole thing of cilantro. Plus, usually when I'm using cilantro, I'm like, what are you going to do with the rest of it? So I throw it all into a whole recipe. And 1 avocado, although you could do more avocados if you wanted. And lime. It calls for like grated lime. I don't do the grated lime. I just do that. I just do lime juice because it's easier and more readily available. So I'm just mixing this up, and I'm gonna give it a little taste, and we'll do our tour here in a minute, but I'm gonna finish this while we're waiting for some people. Hey, Sarah. Pretty good. I'm gonna add a little bit more lime to it. So Sarah, and anybody else who's joining, I'm just finishing up a recipe. This wasn't a recipe tutorial, but you're welcome to go check it out over at forksoverknives.com. It's called the chickpea avocado salad. You can always go back to the beginning of this video and see what I was doing over there with that too. So I'm gonna mix it up a little bit more and just see. I love this stuff. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. All right, let's see how it is now with a little bit more lime. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. So that's that. While we're getting started, I'll give some foundational things about whole food plant-based. So basically, whole foods, if it's not in its whole form, then it's not a whole food. But you know, this is not a diet, it's a lifestyle. So there may be some things that you may not have, that you may have that are not pure whole foods. But the idea is that our body digests and processes things in its whole form more naturally and better for our microbiome, for our gut, for the way that our body's able to process it. So it makes sense because that's the way the earth made it for us, that we eat it in as pure and whole as we can. So what I eat is pure whole grains. So brown rice, quinoa are my favorites. Sometimes I'll do oats. I will do rolled oats on occasion. It's a little bit processed, but not much, so I'm okay with that. Buckwheat. Actually, I was going to buy some buckwheat here soon and kind of mix it in with some brown rice or something. You can eat it plain, actually. It's good too. Anyway, experiment. Mix your grains. This is meant to be exploratory and see what's good for you. Whole grains, legumes, beans, all kinds of legumes of any sorts. And so you're going to get your protein source from that. You're also going to get your protein from a lot of the dark leafy greens as well, which is amazing source. A lot of people don't realize that you actually can get protein from your vegetables. Holla. All right, so grains, legumes, vegetables, of course, lots and lots of vegetables and fruits. And then You can add seeds and nuts and things like that if that's something that you're okay with. That is something I've read a lot of research on. So, you know, especially when you're losing weight, you want to be careful with that because it is higher fat content. And some people, not all, don't process nuts very well at all, and they still have high cholesterol issues. So I'm extremely, extremely minimal with nuts. I love them, but anyway. And omega-3s is something that always comes into conversation when people are talking about whole food plant-based. So I like to add hemp hearts, and I'll show that to you as we go through my RV here and my pantry and stuff. I get my omegas from my hemp hearts. You can get it from flax seeds, chia seeds. Those are all common areas where you can get it. And so I'll show you what I got going on here. I pulled a few things out of the fridge. This is something that I do on the daily. Well, okay, first let's start. Every 3 days or so, let's take you down here. I get out my rice cooker and I cook my grains in that, and I make about 3 days worth of grains. And then I have my Instant Pot down here, and in that I typically will steam like a large quantity of vegetables in that. And so I'll have grains readily cooked and vegetables readily cooked. So what I'll do, this is my normal breakfast. I'm going to go ahead and put it together with you because I'm going to have it for dinner instead. I saved it today so that I can show you how I do this. Let's get you set down all nice and comfortable here. So I've got these little containers already made up of, so this is my brown rice and quinoa mix. Let me grab a spoon. So I'll put about maybe a cup in the bottom of my bowl. I eat a large bowl because when you're eating pure whole foods and you're not adding any animal products, you can eat a lot. It's high quality, it's low calorie, it's gonna fill you up, it's going to give you all the nutrients you need in a day. And this meal has a little bit of everything. You've got your greens, you got your vegetables. I love to get the frozen vegetables from Costco. It's a mix of cauliflower, broccoli, and carrots. And I eat them most every day. Cruciferous vegetables are really amazing, great for fiber. And broccoli, of course, you know, iron and vitamin C and all the things. So see, I still have leftover. And then because I'm just by myself and I live in a small space, and I'll cook my own beans because I can't really go through that many beans, so I buy canned beans. But I do look to make sure that I buy canned beans that don't have added salt or anything else added to them. So I've been eating on this week a little bit, so I'm gonna throw the rest in there. There's not much in there, like maybe half a cup. I probably would eat more than that normally, but whatever. Happen to have some leftover, gonna throw it at you too, some leftover falafel in my fridge, and this is oil free, which I can go into that too about oils. It's a good protein source as well. So yeah, I had less than enough garbanzos, so a little leftover falafel, that's good. And then I would heat this up. Afterwards, let me grab one more thing. Here's my hemp hearts that I was talking about. I get these from Costco. I'll put 2 tablespoons of hemp hearts, and that gives me my omegas. And I would add that. I usually typically add it on after I've heated it up. And then I also add my fresh veggies. So I always have some kind of fresh veggies on top to add that I don't heat up. These are some Brussels sprouts that I shaved one day that I've been eating on this all week long. And some fresh tomatoes I'm going to add on top after I heat it up. And then seasoning. I love seasoning. My favorite combo that I've been doing is oregano, garlic granules, and red pepper flakes. And then I get this from Costco. You can buy a liter of balsamic vinegar from Costco for about 11 bucks, depending on where you are. But I love balsamic reduction. balsamic reduction costs like 15 bucks for 16 ounces. Ridiculous. I reduce this down. I just cook it over low heat until some of the fluid boils off, and I have balsamic reduction, which is so yummy, so good. And so I'll add some of that. This is the reduction. See how it's kind of thicker than regular? So that's my favorite seasoning. Oh, and one more. This is Benson's no salt. So it's a combination. It's mostly citric acid that gives it that kind of tangy taste that makes you kind of think you're getting salt. And then there's other like vegetables and things like that, but it gives it kind of more of a salty taste, so you don't have to add salt into your diet. I don't add any salt at all. So I'm careful not to have salt in anything that's already prepared, like canned beans or anything. I don't use salt. Most people don't need salt at all in their diet. Rarely there are people who will be hyponatremic, which means low sodium, but it's not very common. So anyway, that's how I make my basic meal. That I'll eat one of those every day, and then, you know, something else throughout the day depending. So I'll show you my fridge a little bit. I've got some, this is a treat. This is a jam, but there's no sugar added. There's no sugar at all. It's just pure fruit. And oh, this is the brand, if you're taking notes, Stonehenge. No, is it not Stonehenge? Westbury Natural Organic Stone Ground Mustard, and you'll see no salt added. It is almost impossible to find mustard without salt, but I get this off of Amazon. And ooh, I love my pickles. I do get me some Bubby's probiotic pickles every now and then. And I always have almond milk going on. I always make sure that I get the original and unsweetened, or vanilla and unsweetened, but I get it unsweetened. And I like to have lemon water occasionally in the morning. I'll make sparkling water sometimes as a nice fun treat. What else do I have in here? Oh, I always have tea going on. I love iced tea because sometimes water is boring. So this is actually acai berry and hibiscus, which is yummy. And in the breakfast time when I have my coffee, I always have some kind of fresh fruit at any point. And there's all kinds of other fresh veggies down below. I guess I could probably turn you around. It's kind of hard to see really because it's all in packages, but I got tomatoes and red bell peppers and kale and green onion. I just mix my veggies every day. I mix it differently. Some fresh super greens, and oh, tofu. I should talk about tofu. Not everybody eats tofu. Not everybody likes it. Not everybody, you know, wants to add soy into their diet. But one thing I like to do is I'll just blend extra firm tofu with different spices. I'll make like a pesto tofu spread, and I'll use that instead of mayonnaise or something like that on some good bread. And or I'll use it to dip veggies into, or crackers or chips. I'll get like no salt chips, something like that. Anyway, just some thoughts, some ideas. All right, please ask questions. I'm like blah 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 blah, and I'll take you through my pantry. So I'm gonna have to like pick you up and take you over here. As you know, I live in, as some of you know, I live in an RV. Very small space, so I'm making it happen. But I've got all my canned beans over here, some extra like jarred things right here. I always have extra canned beans because I'm always working on a can at some point. And then in here, oh, let's talk about dates. You want to talk about dates? These are a good alternative to sugar. You can eat them whole. I'll just eat like 4 of them in a sitting. You get your fruit and you get your sugar craving kind of fulfilled. Chef AJ is really big in the whole food plant-based community, and check her out on YouTube. I'm actually going to get to go live with her in October, I think it's 5th. Anyway, it's my cover photo, so check that out. but I'm excited about that. So check her out, because she has all kinds of recipes and good things, and lots of like dessert recipes made from whole dates. Ooh, these are kind of fun. I got these from Costco. They're already pre-boiled beets, and they're in a package, like airtight package. Makes it nice and easy, because beets can be messy cooking, right? Oh, I made pickled beets. All I did was add garlic and apple cider vinegar. That's it. And then I stuck it in the fridge. And I'll add that on top of my bowl. That bowl is always changing. Buddha bowl is another way that some people call it. Just mixing your veggies and fruits, but you get everything in it. All right. And then I have up here some, on a rare occasion, I'll have, these are like good all natural, like kind of like ramen type things, but they're from the co-op, the natural food store. And then I love to make chili with textured vegetable protein. I have my own recipe that I absolutely love. It's on aimsalchemy.com, my website. You're welcome to go check that out at any point. And then I've got a whole container full of like extra spices and like some seaweed and just, you know, dried mushrooms and things that I might add to a soup or something like that. And then in here we've got my quinoa and my brown rice, some extra Quaker oats, some oats, and some liquid brags for flavoring on occasion. I'll do, and that's about it. So I think Carmela is with us, and if she is, would love to bring her on, because I want to talk about, I want to answer your questions too. So please ask me questions, because I know transitioning into a whole food plant-based lifestyle is not easy. It's very, very hard, actually. And you need support. You really do. I hired a coach, actually, when I first went, not when I first went whole food plant-based. When I first went whole food plant-based, I tried it on my own. Oh, good. Carmela, you are with me. I'm going to bring you on. And support that I needed. Oh, good. Carmela's coming on. I think she is anyway. Yay! Hi. She's with us. Hey. So I was just talking about having support when you're trying to transition into a big new diet change or lifestyle change. I like to look at this as a lifestyle. You make the changes that fit what you can truly attainably do for yourself. And we all start from a different place. We all have our starting points, and it's all okay. I don't like to look at this as right or wrong, or you're not doing the diet right, you know, things like that. So support is huge and help in making big transition changes. And I just got to meet Carmela recently through a mutual friend, Sarah, who I think is also on with us as well. And I've been looking into this company called Purium, and they have a lot of products that help you boost your already whole food diet. And when I was traveling, moving from California to Maryland, one of the big things I noticed was just how hard it was for me to be able to cook while I was on the go, because we were mostly spending our time on the road, putting in the miles. And I thought that we were going to spend more times, you know, playing at campgrounds and being able to cook in between. I was like, crap, I wish I had some like good greens and things like that while I was traveling. So here's where we slip in Purium, right? So can you tell us a little bit more about how you use Purium and how it complements your lifestyle, your nutrition
Absolutely.
lifestyle?
Thank you for having me. And
yes,
you have a beautiful fridge and ideas for seasonings, and I love that you share in your pantry. I think it's super important. All the things you were saying, I was like, yes, those are all the things. That's the way. If you're wanting to make a shift in your health, so I've been a holistic health coach for 20 years now, and a licensed massage therapist and Reiki master. And so I've been working with the body, mind, spirit model. And when people come to me, I was doing nutritional detoxes for some time, elimination, starting to help people to identify which things to eliminate to help them. And then I found Purium about 8 years ago, and that was when I had my second child. And I was so depleted, and I was eating whole food plant-based with the exception of some fish, because that's just in my lineage. I have fish. And I felt like I couldn't get around this nagging brain fog and the weight gain and the inflammation. And I said, I'm doing all the right things. So I wanted an accelerated path because I was mom on a mission with 2 kids, 2 small ones. And yes, it's excellent for traveling. I was actually traveling back and forth because my husband was working in another country. And I had these 2 littles who I was nursing both till they were 3 years old. So when you're talking about depletion, I was like constantly eating. Oh my gosh, traveling and nursing. So comes in the organic superfood lifestyle, which only complements if you're not supplementing in some way with food, because Whole Foods right now, there's some great documentaries and really great public knowledge that the soil health is suffering in our country, and where all of our farmers are being cross-contaminated by spraying because everyone's buying in to the glyphosate spraying, which is the active ingredient in Roundup. And so I moved to Pennsylvania and I started getting more inflammation. I said, why is this happening? I thought I'm living out in the country outside of New York City, which was where I was from. And I was like, I need supplementation. And so the foods that now Sheila has access to through her direct code, she has a code direct to the farms. And these farms have been around for over 30 years. Now the farmer, he's my dear friend, and I've known him for 8 years, and I literally did tons of in-person conventions, conferences, educational talks with this farmer, and he's for the people. He's for us. He wants to help us, and we all need support. So he has a superfood line that has over 70 different individual products that he grows from the farms. And it's access to that 1% of pure unadulterated soil. And we know this because before anything's even packaged and sent from the farm, they test. They test for lead and mercury and all kinds of chemicals that could possibly be in the products, and it's plastic free. It's a plastic free company. So we all know that also our hormones are greatly affected by man-made ingredients. So we took that out of the equation and we inserted minerals. Minerals come from the soil. So we want to be plant-based because we know it digests better. It feels more live. It's alive. Well, this soil that it's grown in, it's not just nutrient-dense products like spirulina, wheatgrass, oatgrass, alfalfa, chlorella, all of these wonderful individual produce, but they flash freeze it under 90 degrees heat. And it is from soil that has been unadulterated, hundreds of miles away from any contamination. And they do what's called green manure. So the farmer actually talks about how he composts the soil, not from animal manure, actually from worms and like all the things. Like he talks about how this soil is creating the products that we have. And I have a great video we can drop in here, this group. And people will be mindful because you want to learn, where is your food coming from? And I love that you're sourcing, you're specifically, Sheila, saying go to this brand, you get it here, because that's what people need. They need access. So Purium is access to the farmer, the farming, the formulation, and then to our coaching with it. So we want to encourage only whole food plant-based with these protocols. You can insert, if you aren't vegan, some animal products, and there's a list. There's a specific list like organic, whole, free range eggs like that. If people do eat eggs, there's wild caught fish and organic chicken if people do eat that way, if they're not plant-based. But most people are coming from that and wanting to go more plant. So you can have 1 meal a day swapped out or 2 meals a day swapped out, and it's all an organic superfood meal. What that looks like, it doesn't look the same as what you just showed us in that beautiful bowl, but that beautiful bowl is that those Buddha bowls are what I eat in tandem. It's what complements the superfoods, because you need that. It's nourishing because it's not dehydrated without fiber. Enzymes are all there. They're intact. The nutrients are living and they're ready to activate with water. The minerals are what it's grown in. So you literally feel the access to absorption, because the cells need the minerals to get into the cells as a delivery system. Now, I can't not talk with your group without talking about gut health.
Oh, yes, please, because this is so important. Something I've been aware of for quite a while. Actually, very excited about Biomedic.
Yeah,
that's what it's called, right? Yeah.
So, and yes, I love working with you directly, because I'm getting to know you and your needs and your concerns with your people. So everyone is suffering with gut health. Everybody. It's inevitable, because, and I'm a big activist for the agricultural investigatory information to bring it to you. I'm on the council for what's called the Million Mom Movement. So I teach the mamas and the caregivers, people who are teaching the next generation. They're the ones most concerned these days. But gut health is so important because it's your second brain, but your gut actually has more neurosynapses than your brain. And it activates your hormone production, which is your serotonin, your melatonin, your cortisol, name it. Just name a hormone, it's built inside your gut microbiome, which is, in 7 years ago, this is the longest it's been studied right now. 7 years ago, did we even understand what it was about? So I had what's called leaky gut since I'm 44. I had it since I was 3. As soon as a man-made ingredient came in my body, I got inflammation immediately. My gut was very sensitive. And I think it was due to chemical damage initially as a baby. You know, when you have multiple vaccinations, I remember from when I was really small, I would never forget, whenever I eat the food and I get this inflammatory episode, I felt it. And I remembered how I felt when I was before the age of 5. So gut health and healing has always been my path, because I've been trying to figure it out. So this chemical, glyphosate, it's insidious. It can't wash off of vegetables or fruit. It's in the umbilical cords of babies from mamas, and it's in the breast milk that mamas are feeding. And we can't detoxify it except through this formula. It's the first to market. It's called Biomedic, like Sheila said, and 74% can be reduced from the gut within 6 weeks of taking it. And it has a synergy. So many people are hearing about humic and fulvic acid. Are you hearing about humic and fulvic acid? It's shilajit. People are talking about minerals. People need minerals these days, because minerals are what helps usher out toxins and helps deliver nutrients into the cells. So when you're not getting those, then you're literally in famine. More obesity is happening because nobody can absorb. So this is where Biomedic, it has a formula that grabs toxins like glyphosate, which is the active ingredient in Roundup, and it ushers it out with lactospore. These are all vegan and organic herbs and ingredients. And then it pushes it out of the digestive tract, and it rebuilds the good bacteria, and then it heals the villi. So it's a
Oh, I was just going to say, so it's a prebiotic, right? That's what
it's a probiotic.
And a prebiotic as well, right?
It has prebiotic and a prebiosure. So basically, it helps to heal the villi that absorbs the nutrients. So if you're not absorbing, your body's in famine, because it doesn't matter how much you eat. If it can't absorb, it's not receiving. So that was my issue. I was 30 pounds over my natural healthy weight. I thought I was eating as well as I could, exercising, meditating, breathing deeply. And I'm like, I can't get around this. I'm having really strong gut issues. And I started detoxifying glyphosate and going 100% plant-based and organic. And within 3 months, 90 days, I was able to see, I felt my food for the first time in maybe a year. I didn't feel that same absorption. And some of us, you know, have damage that's been long standing, like many, many, many years. For me, it was really just 1 year. And it stuck, and I needed to take it out. So we have a gut health reset. It's a 30-day. I recommend everybody do it for at least 60 to 90 days because it takes time to clean out the gut microbiome and heal the absorption so that you can get all these nutrients from this wonderful plant-based foods that you're talking about, Sheila. We want you to be able to eat whole foods and have it get access to your system.
Now, when I went like a couple years ago, before that, on multiple because of a rare immunity that I have. Sounds like we got a feedback or something. Anyway, going whole food plant-based, I noticed a significant difference in my irritable bowel syndrome that I had. Significant difference. So I'm interested to see, just from all the work that I've done, just from eating the way that I do, stepping it with this, what kind of change?
Yeah, we make a concerted effort to find testimonials throughout the community, because I've worked with a woman who had Crohn's, IBS, fibromyalgia, MS, and she turned it all around. And she's a great testimonial of mine. Right now I just referred her to another person to speak to, but the products work. It's an accelerated path.
Yeah.
So yes, absolutely eat the whole food plant-based, but we need to help you with the initial absorption that might be blocked. For me, I also had impacted fecal matter. And because I had been diagnosed gastritis during that time period. So there was some kind of inflammatory infection that I had in my gut microbiome. My gastroenterologist, they can only tell you so much. They don't know what to tell you to do. And then I went to a colon hydrotherapist. I was doing colonics, enemas. I was able to release that. And then I was able to really heal the gut. So I'm not just nutrition, like this one trick, you know, it's so much more that I've dealt with candida. I've dealt with parasites. I had atopic dermatitis that's food related. It's inflammation of the skin. It always came out in my skin. So if you can relate to that.
So many things come back to nutrition. So many things come back to that. I've been able to correct 7 diagnoses because of eating whole foods. So, you know, I've got my own story too. 80 pounds I lost, 7 diagnoses and 7 medications I've been able to decrease out of my life. So, yeah, I definitely testify. I mean, you are what you eat. I know they say that, but what the hell does that mean? Well, you get to know what that means when you live it, when you do it, when you are it, when you embrace it as your lifestyle. So I'm excited for this new journey, and maybe we could do a brief overview of the upcoming cleanse that we're doing, because the way that I'm approaching it is I'm giving people an option to add the Purium to it. I will still support you and be a part of this whole journey, whether or not you do the Purium lifestyle along with it, because it's all important. It's also important, and where you are is where you're meant to be. So with that, in this group, I will still continue to be active and whatnot with that, and helping support you and answering your questions on how to eat more whole foods, what kind of changes you might want to make. So please ask questions. But for those that are, it's from September 14th to October 14th is the plan. We're all going to do it together, whether you're doing the Purium or not. And so if you are doing the Purium part, can you tell us a little bit more of what anybody might need to know? Next steps, how can they, get initiated and started, and
Yes, my pleasure. Okay, so the 14th is mid-month. So you can begin if you want earlier or not. It's up to you. We're very flexible. We're a very flexible group. We know it's about lifestyle. So sometimes people need time to digest and just say, we call it a sacred yes. Because when you say yes, you're saying yes to a transformation, right? And that's really, really special. We're in circle together. No one's, I'm sitting with you in a circle. So whatever you have as an issue, we're looking eye to eye. You can ask us anything. It's very private. And then the commitment is the superfood lifestyle is making everything easier. Let me just tell you, it's not that it's harder to actually prepare and the cost and everything. So let me break that down. A 30-day program. It's a 60-day money-back guarantee. So you could try it and see how you feel with it, which is what I recommend everybody. Just try it.
60 or 60?
So you have 2 months to just see if the lifestyle will work for you. So that's the initial decision is what I'm walking into this answer because I know people are very skeptical. I was so skeptical. But then I started researching. I went to the first event and they were talking about the artificial colors in foods and how it affects the brain. They were educating about gut health and the microbiome. And I was like, okay, these are the things nobody's talking about. And those are my issues when I'm so sensitive to man-made ingredients. So I know all of you are, clearly that's if you're interested in plant-based. So the 30-day program is 2 meals a day done for you for 30 days. It's those 60 meals in a program. How you want to configure that, there are 3 different schedule options to choose from. And basically 1 meal is $6, less than $6, a superfood meal. And that's protein, fruits, vegetables, and the gut cleanser, which is called the core 4. That core 4, you swap a breakfast, you swap a lunch, or you swap a dinner. Or if you have intermittent fasting in your lifestyle, go for it. If you want to take out, like eat only within an 8-hour window, this is a great way because you're getting a ton of nutrients in those 8 hours. Most people, they're just trying to eat meat within those 8 hours and they still do well. But here you're getting everything so condensed that you're more thirsty and you want more high fiber fruits and vegetables along with it. That's really what you're going to experience. You're very thirsty because it's nutrient dense. And then you are wanting to eat high fiber flex foods, which is what we call flex foods and lifestyle meals. Now, that's the first schedule is 2 meals swapped out, and then you eat 1 lifestyle meal.
So like the bowl that I made, would that be equivalent to what
It's more the amount versus a flex food that's a flex food and a lifestyle meal. It really depends upon how much of it you choose to consume of it. Flex foods are fruits and vegetables only, so no tofu, for instance, that during that time when they say flex food. Whenever you take what's called the super amino 23, I have them waiting for me. They are 9 grams of protein per tablet. It's pre-digested, meaning that especially for plant-based vegan people, they don't feel like they get enough protein often. And so here it's configured. It's planned for you. You get 5 each meal. So 5 is 45 grams of protein, but it's 99% bioavailable protein. So it goes into your body without needing to digest anything. So if you're intermittent fasting, you can take the protein. It's as if you're fasting, and it gives your kidneys a break. I have a cousin who's got 25% of her kidneys working. And I gave her all the testimonials, and we have 45 clinical studies in the physician's desk reference. It's above hospital grade. These were made for patients who can't digest protein at all. So, and she's a nurse, so she needed to see all those things. And I said, if you're not taking this, you're eating food, you're eating protein. So why not try this? And so she is, this is like a huge win when people, The win is just having people see there are other options out there that could help you. And this is like you're fasting, you're giving your kidneys a break while you're getting the protein. Kidneys take a lot of, that's what what do you call this? Dialysis is all about. Your kidneys break down. You can't, your food is making your blood. So you can't detoxify your blood and clean your blood and make new blood if your kidneys are really failing. It's really a struggle for people. So these aminos, you eat a flex food with it, like a green apple, some cucumbers, and some, mix it up in a little salad like you did. I had peach mint, red onion, and tart cherry concentrate vinaigrette this morning. That was my flex food. And it was delicious. And that's what I ate with my first round of 5 with a ton of water. Like I had 2 things of water like this. And then lunch. So you take 5 aminos. Oh, you take a shake. The shake is really important. The shake is actually 6 to 7 servings of a superfood salad. So you can make that wonderful Buddha bowl if you have the time and the sourcing, or you can supplement, which is amazing for busy people who are working, who are moms, and you just take the shake, literally one shake is 6 to 7 servings, and you just put it with water. You don't have to blend anything into it. It tastes like apple, raspberry, no sugar added. It's all the good things: spirulina, wheatgrass, alfalfa, millet, amaranth, quinoa, chia seeds. If you are sugar sensitive, we have an unflavored. If you're needing to gain weight, we have an option called the Love Super Meal, which is more protein, more nutrients. If you're nursing, if you're just, we have different options you can choose of a shake depending upon what's your goals. So that's why we have to talk.
Okay. Okay, cool. So if people want to go for it, I know I'm going to get a code here this next week sometime. Do we have a guesstimate time when people can reach out to me and ask more questions and get signed up?
It's a good thing too you're saying it now, because it takes about 6 business days to ship to Pennsylvania, and I know you're in Ohio, right? So Maryland, the East Coast.
Sorry.
Takes some time. I mean, you could do it rush or you could do 2-day, but regular shipping, because it's through FedEx, and we, like, our company is very pure. We do all the testing before it ships out. So we're not like Amazon, okay?
No, I'm not asking about when they get products. I'm asking about when and how they sign up. Yeah. Because that would be the first step, and then getting the products would be next, which of course that's what the goal.
Well, you know, for you, because you don't have your code until the beginning of the month, you can have them enroll immediately, and we could place them directly under you anytime. We have access to my direct upline mentor. She's like a corporate account. So any account that we create for the person you refer, it goes directly put under you for the month. So they can order whenever they're ready. Absolutely. Even now. And they'll still get the same 25% off of retail. You'll get the free shipping, which is great. Anything over, so the cost of it is $329.25 for 30 days. $329.25. So it's under $330 for 1 month supply of 2 meals a day for 30 days. So you will be shrinking your grocery bill. You won't need to take any other supplements. If you take vitamins, just don't.
I was thinking about that actually as you were talking. Like, I already take extra things, and I'm like,
save
probably
it.
Put those on hold.
Or see if you even want it later, because I had so many people with a supplement graveyard, because now they're eating the whole food plant-based along with the organic superfoods, and these isolated nutrients with vitamins, they don't compare to the absorption rate of these superfoods versus vitamins, and of all sorts, like anything that people are taking, omegas, probiotics, vitamins, minerals, anything that you're currently taking, you won't need to with the products because the nutrients are factored in. So you could save money that way too. And how it will complement, it will help teach you how to eat and cook plant-based and whole foods more easily, because you're weaning into the lifestyle. So you'll only need to make 2 small whole food plant-based flex food snacks, 1 lifestyle meal a day. And then if you want to continue the second month with just maybe even just 1 superfood meal and then 2 plant-based lifestyle meals, you can continue with that, or you can transition completely into the whole food plant-based lifestyle. So because you're focusing on gut health and cleaning first, it's a parasite cleanse, which we all have parasites, we all do, and a gut cleanse initially.
Okay. Well, this is a really good overall. It's been really fun, really cool. We're giving a little bit both of those who just want to do the whole food plant portion and those who want to do whole food with Purium. And I just encourage anybody to ask any questions. Reach out. Don't be afraid to ask. It's just me. I'm you know, and we'll get you what you need. We'll get you your questions answered and move forward. Be better in the long run, no matter what you do.
Oh, you're so awesome. I love you, Sheila. You're amazing. And
you are too. I'm so glad to have been able to connect with you. Hey, Sarah, I see you on
Sarah.
there.
I love Sarah so much. We've grown quite a little family, and
yeah, I like that about this. I'm noticing just how truly connected people are in this lifestyle, the Purium part, and just how supportive it is. Because there's no room for competition, because people don't win when you compete. People win when you support each other. So, and that's something that really attracts me.
Yeah, I want to help your friends and family win and get around some of those stubborn health issues that we know is very hard. And we want to, so my mission has been to accelerate people getting off of medication with whole foods, with food as medicine. And I've witnessed it firsthand. That's why I'm here. It's the miracles. And
me too. I'm no longer on any daily medications at all. I mean, I do have some medications. I mean, I have an infusion I have to take, but other than that,
lovely.
Yeah. So anyway, blessings to you. I think we're probably going to get off unless you have any final moments or final thoughts you want to close out.
Yeah, I almost want to take it a step further from what you mentioned, which is it's not what you eat, it's what your body's able to absorb. That's the quality of food that you eat and absorb is the quality of life that you're able to live. And so everyone has choices, and nutrition is 80% of your health. So you have choices. We're here to help you with those choices. We've been through it. I know Sheila and I are both survivors in a way, and we've been able to see what it can do. And yeah, we would love to help you wherever you're at. And I hope to see you more, and maybe we could do something in your group again on the food side of cooking with superfoods too.
I was thinking about that. Yeah, doing more. I think I've had a lot of people ask me more about recipes and cooking, and because it's confusing to people who are just used to the typical American diet. It's confusing. Like, what? You don't eat meat? You don't eat dairy?
Low oil. I have
no. Hold on a second. I think it's my internet is doing
You're back. Yes, I can hear you well now. Yep. Oh, no.
Sorry about that.
I was going to say I have the Million Mom Movement. We have a recipes page, and I have a YouTube channel that it's going from SAD to RAD. We call it the Standard American Diet to the Radically Awesome Diet. And we have charts I'm making it into a little like pamphlet we could teach with, so that people get it
Fun.
out of the standard American diet in an easy way. So I found that, yeah, like what I make for my children, I have a 9-year-old and 12-year-old. They're always eating. I have to make snacks constantly. Well, what do I cook and what do I make? So I put it into my channel, and I could put something together in the kitchen with you anytime.
Very well. Onward and forward. Today is a new moon in Virgo, so it is a moon. New moons are the time to set new intentions and new goals. And in Virgo, it's your shit organized. And this could be one of the things that help you get organized. So set your intentions. Everybody, if this is part of your intention, great, reach out. Anyway,
Blessings. Happy
you
new
all.
moon. Thank you, Sheila.
All right.
Much love.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
much love. Bye-bye.